So a homeowner called me the other day because they essentially have listed their home with another agent, and their home has been languishing on the market for quite some time with little to no results and little to no showings. So when they approached me and asked me about potentially listing their home, there was one thing that I really wanted to do, and that was really just to simply ask them a question. And that question was, tell me about the process that your agent took you through to prepare your home for sale. And so that got me thinking that this might be a really good idea to essentially work with you about how to list and prepare your home for sale to have really great results. So after that specific homeowner parted ways with his agent, we met for coffee and then did a no pressure walkthrough of the home to look at the marketing, the positioning of the home, and also what he did to prepare the home to be best positioned for the most amount of buyer interest in that specific market. When walking through the home, I noticed that there were small little repairs that were really easy, that the buyer even said were super easy to do, that hadn't been done. He had hired that specific agent that he was working with previously because they said that they would just kind of use little knickknacks and accessories to kind of freshen up the home using his existing furniture. And third is that there were $50,000 worth of upgrades for that specific home, but when you looked at houses in that area, there were not those types of upgrades in those actual houses. So that was something that he had not adequately put forward and marketed that would have been a huge draw into that specific home. So the thing that most struck me during our conversation is that he said multiple times that this certain area was an area that a lot of empty nesters from out of state or out of the area moved to. But the marketing didn't tell that story. And that's something that I really kind of pressed hard on and really tried to drive the point home that you really have to prepare a home and then also position it for the type of buyer that you're trying to attract. So let's face it, time is precious. We've got a million things happening at once, and it can be frustrating and super overwhelming to think about preparing and listing your home and getting everything done on top of everything else that you're doing. So that's where I come in. My job is to help be a trusted resource. It's to help organize. It's to help create timelines. My job is to help the experience be as seamless and stress-free as possible, but also making sure that you are in the best position possible to list your home, prepare it, and attract as many buyers so that you can get through this very life-changing event and move on with the things that you are already short on time for. So something that I find is pretty consistent when people are looking to list their home for sale is they talk to friends or family. Why? Because they trust them. They want to understand from the people that they love and trust the most what they need to do. They draw on their experiences. And having an agent that you can know and trust is the same exact thing. The reality of it is that no two homes or condos are exactly the same, especially if they've been lived in. In my role as a real estate agent, I've helped both buyers and sellers actually about equally. And I think that this is really key because knowing what to do to list and prepare a home for sale needs to be in line with what buyers at that certain time are looking for and expect in the market that you're in. So 5 things that I like to recommend to my sellers are the following. So the first thing is to know who you're selling to. You need to understand who is going to potentially buy that house. You need to appeal to these buyers on an emotional level, and you need to essentially tell a compelling story to get people through that front door and into those 4 walls, because those are the people that are going to write an offer. So the second is to understand what your budget is. People sell their homes for lots of different reasons, and it's important that you know what those reasons are, that you know what your pricing strategy is, and what you can realistically do up front so that you can manage your expectations of what that home selling process is going to be and how much you're going to put into the home in order to get a certain amount back. My third step is to really have a clear understanding of what your timeline looks like and what you can handle. Now, if you're relocating in 2 weeks, you're not going to have a lot of time. However, if you're maybe downsizing or moving to a different area or maybe getting ready to expand your family, these are things that you need to understand and prepare for when you're getting ready to prepare your home for sale. Really breaking down the timeline and understanding kind of the little goals that you need to hit along the way is going to help you feel less overwhelmed and make the process more seamless and more enjoyable. My fourth step is to focus on the details. Buying a home is a very emotional experience, so you want to make sure that you're creating that for the people that are walking into the front door. I have 3 little tidbits that I always like to share with my home sellers that I think help to make it so that it's that emotional experience that buyers are looking for. So the first is fresh flowers. It creates a little bit of a living environment, helps to bring in nature, and helps to kind of have a calming sense for the home. The second is to focus on the landscape as early as possible before you're going to sell your home. This ensures that the home has natural and mature landscaping, and it kind of creates that bit of an oasis for people as they walk through the yard, whether it's going to be for their evening dinners in the summer or for their kids playing in the backyard. The third is a little quick fix. I think it's to make sure, especially in older homes, that all light fixtures are updated and that they're modern looking. And to make sure all those little tiny repairs and light bulbs are all super cleaned up. There's no burned out light bulbs. What that does is it takes the focus away from the little things of the house that need to be done and more to the ambiance and the emotional aspect that these buyers are sensing when they're coming through your front door. The last step is really about you. It's to list your home with confidence and to celebrate the little wins that you took to get your house ready for sale. It's always a really exciting time when people list their homes because they like to share the photos on their Facebook and tell all their friends and their neighbors to come through. And it's also a time to really understand that you worked through this timeline and this process with your trusted agent to really make sure that this whole selling of your home went by as smoothly as possible. And so the last step, like I said, is all about just celebrating being super happy with all that you've accomplished and getting ready to move to the next step of your life. So this is what I do, and this is honestly what I love to do. I love working with happy sellers who collaborate with me and prepare a plan and a process for getting their house ready for sale and selling with confidence. They don't have to worry about their home languishing on the market or having it look rushed or having the marketing be kind of obscure and not targeted to the right buyers. This is something that we really feel great about when it hits the market, and we celebrate all the hard work that they did and all the collaboration that we did together. So if this is something that you'd like to talk about, collaborate on, or even just go through a no pressure walkthrough of your home, I'd love to meet. We can meet for coffee. We can just have a conversation. You can DM me on Facebook, Instagram, my website. But I would love to talk with you and talk about the processes that I've done with my past home sellers and what I've learned and how we can help benefit you during the home selling process.